On today's episode, we've got brand new developments with Tesla's upcoming Model 2 vehicle. We are talking a shockingly low price point, and now even more incredible news about the battery pack inside. There's a lot to get into, so let's get going. Just when it seemed like there was nothing left to know about, it's Tesla's newest vehicle, their smallest and cheapest car, yet the Model 2 word comes that this baby is going to be packing a new kind of battery cell with an unprecedented 20-year lifespan. This is a huge deal. Let's talk about it. We are starting with the recent news from Tesla CEO Elon Musk, who said in response to a fan question on Twitter that he is fairly confident that they can make a version of the Model to that costs under $1.4 before incentives. That would put the Model 2 in range of being the first truly affordable electric car for the masses. And if you have been following the channel, then this won't come as a surprise. We've actually been over some leaked manufacturing plans for a while now that show the company preparing to mass-produce the Model 2 at an astonishing rate. As recently as last week, we saw reports that Gigafactory Shanghai was readying production lines for 1,000 units per day. Even if that number seems low compared to Tesla's usual output, remember that this will be a brand new vehicle with brand new manufacturing processes. It will take time to ramp up production. Remember when Cybertruck came out and everyone thought that Tesla was making just 1 or 2 trucks a week? Well, they were still making progress on the factory floor. By all accounts, they were making multiple trucks per day at that point, and the pace has only increased since then. So don't count Tesla out when it comes to building volume. The fact is that they are the largest electric vehicle manufacturer in the world right now. So unless someone else steps up and makes 1 million cars by the end of the year, Tesla will be producing more EVs than anyone else. And that means they have something special going on in those factories. What's more, these leaked photos suggest that the company isn't messing around with the Model 2, because the photos seem to show a full-scale mock-up of the vehicle made from wood and metal. Then there's the rumor mill. Over the past few months, we've seen a steady stream of leaks coming from various sources claiming that the Model 2 will cost less than $25,000, and that Tesla is planning to make the car at both Gigafactory Shanghai and Gigafactory Berlin, the latter of which is scheduled to open later this month. They could be getting ready to manufacture the Model 2 at that facility. Maybe they just wanted to build a full-size replica of the car for the grand opening. It's possible. But all of this talk of a new vehicle brings us back to the batteries. There is a very good chance that the Model 2 will use the same LFP battery cells that are currently going into the standard range Model 3 vehicles produced at Gigafactory Shanghai. These are lithium iron phosphate batteries that have a much lower energy density than traditional Tesla cells. This means they aren't great for long-range vehicles like the Model S or Model X, but they are excellent for short-range urban cars like the Model 2. This also means that they are cheaper to manufacture, and more importantly, they are extremely durable and have an incredibly long cycle life. A regular lithium-ion battery cell like the ones used in most EVs today will typically handle 500 to 1,000 charge cycles before degrading to the point where it can no longer hold a charge effectively. A charge cycle is when you use 100% of the battery's capacity, whether in one charge or over many small charges. So for example, if your battery is 50 kilowatt hours and you charge it from 0 to 100, that's one charge cycle. If you charge from 0 to 50 and then do another 50 to 100, that's 2 charge cycles. If you do 5, 10, 15, that's still 2 charge cycles. It doesn't matter. It's how much energy you move through the battery that matters. Now, a regular lithium-ion battery will probably get you a decent amount of driving over its lifetime, but an LFP battery will far exceed that. In fact, according to estimates from industry experts, LFP cells can survive more than 10,000 charge cycles before degradation begins. That means if you drive between 20 and 40 kilometers per day, depending on your battery size, you might never need to replace your battery pack. At a minimum, you should be able to go 20 years before the battery starts to become a problem. And it's worth pointing out that if you think about the typical Tesla owner, that demographic is likely to keep their car for longer than 5 or 6 years. Most Tesla owners tend to drive well over 100,000 kilometers before they decide to trade up to a newer model. So that's actually pretty reasonable. But if you are leasing your Tesla and you turn over your car every couple of years, then this probably won't affect you as much. You'll just hand the car back and get a new one. But for the people who buy their Tesla and plan to keep it for the next decade or two, this is going to be a big deal. But what's even bigger is the implications of Elon's recent tweet, saying that he is pretty sure they can make the Model 2 for under $10,000. He didn't specify, but I think it's safe to say that he means before government incentives. Tesla has always said that their goal with the Model 2 is to make the most affordable vehicle they possibly can. But when we heard that they were aiming for a price tag of $25,000, we assumed that they were talking after incentives because most governments do offer tax breaks for vehicles over $40,000. So if Tesla wants their car to be affordable, $25,000 is probably the limit for incentive eligibility. But what if they can go lower? What if the Model 2 ends up costing just $10,000? That would mean that the federal government here in the US isn't going to offer anything for buying that car, because it's already cheap enough. But state and local governments may still offer rebates or tax breaks for purchasing an EV. We know that California offers $7,000 off for any pure electric vehicle. So with some creativity, a buyer could shave a couple of $1,000s off the price of a Model 2 and walk away with a brand new Tesla for just a couple of dollars down and $60 a month. And that gets us back to the batteries again. Because if the Model 2 is really going to cost just $10,000, then they aren't going to be using regular LFP cells. So those things cost more than a Tesla Model 3. The only way that they can achieve that price point is with an even cheaper kind of battery cell. And that's where the latest rumors start to make sense. According to our friends over at Teslarati, they have received word from their sources that Tesla is working on a new kind of battery that they are calling the aluminum-ion. This is a new chemistry that uses aluminum instead of lithium for the negative electrode. Lithium is a very reactive metal, so using it in a battery allows for a strong chemical reaction that generates lots of energy. But the problem is that lithium is also very expensive. Aluminum, on the other hand, is one of the most common metals in the Earth's crust. It's everywhere. It's not a rare earth metal. So if Tesla can develop a battery that uses aluminum as the primary ingredient, that would make them extremely cheap. But there is one problem. Aluminum is a very stable metal. It doesn't react easily with other elements. And that stability is the reason why it's so plentiful. You can find it in dirt, it's in rocks, it's in the water you drink. So finding something to pair with aluminum to create a strong chemical reaction in a battery is difficult. Elon Musk himself talked about this issue back in 2020 when he said, "The major limitation for batteries right now is cost, and that is driven primarily by the cathode material. We'd like to get the cost down to half of where they are today. And in order to do that, we're trying to change the cathode material from nickel, manganese, cobalt to something that is much more abundant and much less expensive." Well, it looks like Tesla has found a solution, and they've created their own aluminum-ion battery cell. Of course, we haven't seen this tech in action yet, so we don't know for sure if it works. But if it did, then the Model 2 could really become the people's car, and maybe Tesla could even hit their goal of making 1 million vehicles in a year. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up today if you liked it. That is so important for getting our content out to more people. If you enjoy the content, then you'd probably also enjoy our weekly newsletter. So sign up with the link down below. Huge thank you to all of our supporters who are listed on the screen now. You help us make the best content we can, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.